level of danger ahead. Except he really didn't seem to care at all. Why I say this? Well, because right after getting lit up 100 times, he still went on to perform at his later show.
Leaving a day party. I was leaving a day party. We was headed to where we was headed to. Pull out the lot on a day party, get up the street. They started shooting. They shot.
Yeah, I don't trust party
shooting was over. And shit, I had another party to go to that night. You know what I mean? So, shit, we went and did our party that night.
Not me.
Dolph was the ultimate hustler, and not to mention that he just wasn't scared of anything. On top of this, he wanted the world to know that I'm not worried about Yo Gotti whatsoever. Just a month after the incident, Dolph would release a song called 100 Shots, alluding to everything that happened. So basically after this, the whole world knew that Yo Gotti was thirsty for Dolph's head.
Pause. Oh my goodness.
Let me try that again. Yo Gotti wanted to spank Dolph. And even after this major failed attempt...
Nigga, pause again. Like, even though I know you mean... I know you mean... I know you mean that, but brother, you just said a grown man wants to spank another grown man. Ew. Pause.
in Charlotte.
Sit that right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shit, yeah, I like that, bring that right here, said sit that right there, don't go.
Welcome back, we back with part 2 of Murder for Dolph. This is Swamp Story's video. Let's get right back into it. We ended on Justin Johnson not even getting caught up, it's more so the news telling about how he got out, because nigga, aggravated assault with a weapon, a deadly weapon, and nothing. 6 months. What the fuck?
And hop out of a black Jeep and walk his way. Sadly, before he can even turn around, the two men start unleashing.
Family is speaking after one of their loved ones was killed in a shooting at a Fraser gas station earlier this week. Today, Memphis police identified the victim as Darion Childs. Barry G's Jordan James explains why some are linking his death to the death of young Dolph and how his family is responding.
We like Marlon and Mike. What? When he fight, I fight.
It's this video of Darion Childs that captivated the hearts of millions. Now, years later, many are talking about how the Memphis comedian died days after making remarks about young Dolph on social media.
And it's hard to ignore the stuff they're saying, like clicking on his page and us seeing them laughing.
In a series of Facebook posts, Childs questioned the outrage that people are feeling about the death of Dolph. His sister, Shamicia Mason, says his words were taken out of context.
He's like, I'm not joking about Dolph's death. He said, I'm just saying that Memphis is basically the next Chicago because anybody can get killed in Memphis. He was like, it's crazy.
Okay, but why would you say it like that? No, I get it. I'm saying, like, anybody can, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just the fact of life, that anybody can die. But it's like, he wrote it disrespectfully, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but what the hell? Why would you say that shit like that?
How young Dolph actually went to a cookie place and got killed in his own neighborhood.
Childs was among 2 people shot outside of a Fraser gas station. Surveillance video shows someone walking up to the vehicle he was in and firing several rounds.
Regardless if D-Money's tweets were intended to be disrespectful or not, what happened to him was definitely a message to Memphis. Whether or not you had something to do with Dolph's passing, if you're on that side and clowning Dolph's death, we're coming to get you. This sent a serious precedent. After this, the city knew what was up behind Dolph, coming for any and anyone, and because they now couldn't get to straight drop, they wanted to get the person closest to him. This would make his first cousin a major target, and if you're unfamiliar, this would be CMG artist Big Newski. Now mind you, Newski had nothing to do with Dolph's passing, but because he was first cousins with Straight Drop, somehow this made him a target. January 28th, 2022.
Damn, 2022,
it's an exciting day for
wildin'.
Newski and his cousin and fellow rapper named Big 30 as they're set to perform at their former high school. Well, Newski and Big 30 pull up to the school, perform in front of the students, and it's a good old time. The students go crazy and the rappers feel like kings. It's all good vibes all around. So after performing at their old high school, the rappers decide to head back to their old hood. Well, actually, Big 30 heads off, but Newski, he heads back to his old New Horizon River apartments. This is where he kicks it for hours with the homies, shooting dice, you know, the whole 9 yards. Well, eventually, word gets around on social media that Newski's back in the hood.
I'm not from here no more.
Unfortunately, this is bad news, as the Slide for Dolph steppers are starting to get hungry. 7 p.m. While Newski is posted up in front of the apartments, a silver Kia creeps up front. Then out of nowhere, 2 men in masks hop out with choppers and start airing out the apartments. Sadly, Newski doesn't make it.
Damn.
This was a tragic loss for Gotti, but more importantly for Moneybagg Yo and Big 30. Newski was Moneybagg's protege, and for Big 30, well, Newski was his idol and big cousin.
Yeah, I got a best friend. He passed away though. Shit, he was a good person. He was how he carried himself, things he doing, shit, you know what I'm saying? What he meant to his city, like, what he meant to everybody. We were just smiling and shit. I had a show at school for the kids and shit. He stayed smiling and shit. He stayed smiling and that nigga proud, let a nigga know he proud of me and shit. Shit, one of my homies had called me from the hood and just let me know, like hell no, I just left him, like, ain't no way. I know where he just supposed to went, like, what you mean? First thing they say he was dead, they say he just got shot. You know what I'm saying? So I fly straight to the hood. You know what I'm saying? On the way to the hood, I'm getting off on exit 24, Mill Branch Road. They called me and pronounced like confirmed, like he gone. Like he walked in the hospital and collapsed type shit.
The tragic loss devastated everyone close to Newski, and it only elevated the war in Memphis. Like really, you targeted Newski when he had nothing to do with Dolph's passing, and only because he was Straight Drop's cousin? That's out of bounds. But the people sliding for Dolph sadly did not care, and this would not be the end of it. You'd think that after eliminating D-Money and Newski that the sliding for Dolph would chill out, like we get the message. But unfortunately, as you'll see, enough would never be enough. And that reintroduces us to the notorious North Memphis gang known as Trula Mafia. If you can recall, allegedly, Straight Drop and Cornelius were known members of the Trula Mafia. So given this, regardless of the fact that Trula and Dolph never really had beef, because of, you know, Straight Drop and Cornelius's involvement, well, they were on the list for revenge as well. Sliding for Dolph also meant sliding on Trula Mafia, and in particular, one man was a target. This would be a man named Joshua Taylor, commonly known as CEO Teezy. Teezy was known in Memphis as a top-ranking Trula Mafia member, and he was known to Memphis police as a person of interest in the slaying of young Dolph. Why? Well, police believed that he played a key role in orchestrating the hit, like finding where Dolph was and then getting the guys there to go get him. Well, given the fact that everyone knew this, you'd think that he and his homies would want to get the hell out of Memphis. Because the way people have been sliding for Dolph, you are definitely next in line. However, Teezy and his homies felt invincible, because I suppose in nearly 2 years since Dolph's passing, none of them were touched in revenge. In fact, Teezy's right-hand man named CEO Jizzle, well, he would do an interview on June 10th, 2023, bragging that his side does not take losses like the other side in Memphis.
Double out, we don't take deaths. We don't do that at all. We don't die. Like everybody else, I ain't sugarcoat shit. Everybody else going straight from violence.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. He's saying like we haven't experienced as much death as the rest of the people in this city, most likely, because brother, what do you mean you don't die, nigga? You're a human being. What is he talking about? Are you disillusioned? Have you lost your mind? What the hell is he talking about? We don't die. Nani?
We ain't doing it.
We ain't doing what? Dying?
The cocky attitude definitely pissing people off on Dolph's side. How I know this? Well, that fast forwards us just 3 days, June 13th, 2023. It's a late Tuesday night in Memphis, and CEO Teezy is driving home from a female's house across town. He gets home around 2 a.m., parks down the street from his house on Bunton Street, and begins walking home. Little does he know, a masked hitman is hiding behind a tree in front of his house. So as Teezy is walking towards his house, the man behind the tree is just waiting for the perfect opportunity. And as soon as he gets close, the man jumps out and With a silencer, he knocks down TZ without making a noise. And sadly, because of this, nobody would be alerted and CEO TZ's body would be discovered the next day.
Told by Memphis police that a high-profile gang member was killed in a shooting in Orange Mound this afternoon. This is according to family members who tell us Joshua Taylor was named a person of interest in the young Dolph murder case back in February of 2022. Officers say the shooting happened at Spotswood Avenue near Bunton Street. Police received a call about a body found around 1 p.m. this afternoon. A short time later, Police Chief C.J. Davis made the scene. Neighbors telling us they think the victim was actually shot last night. Police are telling us the investigation is still ongoing. We'll keep you posted.
This was a major loss in Memphis, because as they said, the CEOs were not taking losses like that. But most importantly, this marked yet another slaying as retaliation for Dolph. Back-to-back-to-back losses. This was getting out of control, and the craziest part is that just 60 days later, another would come.
Another one? Oh, big joke, right?
This time targeting a family member of somebody who was responsible for the start of this beef way back in the day. This would be the brother of rapper Black Youngsta named Tomanuel Benson. From what we know, yes, Tomanuel's in the streets, but he had nothing to do with Dolph's passing. So why is he a target? Well, if you can remember, Black Youngsta was the first person to publicly threaten Dolph and walk through his hood with Blake's. So I guess they never got rid of their vendetta, and because Black Youngsta was now way out of Memphis, they wanted to get the closest person to him. This seems ridiculous, but as we know, Get Back for Dolph has no limits. August 18th, 2023. It's a hot Friday.
Also, man, shout out to Black Youngsta for being smart and actually moving out of Memphis. Like, why are any of y'all still there if y'all have bread? Nigga, no, I'm out. Leave him. If it's about, I'm just gonna move to a different part of Tennessee where the white people stay at, or the volunteers play at. One of the two. Like,
Friday afternoon in South Memphis, and Black Youngsta's brother is filling up at the BP gas station. He thinks it's a summer day like any other, but little does he know a man named Randy Ewing is out looking for him. So while he's pumping gas and not paying attention, Randy comes around the corner and lights him up. Bam! Thankfully, Randy misses 19 of his 20 shots, but the one shot that did land would claim Tomanuel's life.
Never mind.
A Memphis man wanted for murder is finally behind bars tonight after being captured by U.S. Marshals. 28-year-old Randy Ewing was taken into custody in Parkway Village last night after he was spotted by U.S. Marshals and the MPD fugitive team in the area of Crichton Avenue. He was wanted on second-degree murder charges for the shooting in August of Tomanuel Benson, the brother of Memphis rapper Black Youngsta.
This was obviously tragic for Black Youngsta and the whole CMG side. However, we're still yet to know what exactly this was about. Either way, Randy was caught on camera doing this, so he's probably away for life. But it is Memphis, and we never know what can happen. However, regardless of what the motive was, this was pretty much the nail in the coffin for the other side. I mean, back-to-back losses. Not to mention that since Dolph's passing, there have been over 1,100 murders in Memphis, so safe to assume that some other ones had something to do with it. It would be nearly impossible to try to figure out what had to do with what, and what's get back and what's not. But what's not impossible? Well, that would be successfully solving Dolph's murder. I say that because more and more people would be arrested after straight dropping Cornelius, steady getting closer and closer to never mind. But in 2024, police would finally gather enough evidence and testimony to arrest who they believe was the mastermind of Dolph's hit. They believe that this man supplied the weapons, recruited the hitters, and facilitated the money for ransom. Now, I have no idea if he did any of this, but from what you're about to see in this video, you probably won't doubt it. Listen to this. After being arrested for first-degree murder, Hernandez was somehow granted bail. How someone who's being charged with masterminding a murder is granted bail is beyond me, but it is Memphis at the end of the day. Now, after somehow being granted bail and returning home, what do you think that Hernandez would do? A, lay low and try his absolute best to stay out of trouble. Or B, doing the complete opposite.
Flex for the internet? See?
Obviously you guessed B, and you're definitely correct. Cause right after being released, Hernandez would feel famous and start doing an interview tour. In fact, in the interviews, he even talks about Yo Gotti, Young Dolph, and the entire situation.
Brother. This generation is cooked. Like, bro. And the sad thing is, it's an old head. But it's not even an old head. This is an old YN, brother. That's some YN shit. I'm sorry, bro. If you go on interviews after you didn't caught a body, brother, you're YN. You're stupid. Like, it's just this dumb. Like I hate to attribute idiocy with being young, because it's probably some young people that are smart as hell, geniuses in their own right. But this is some young shit. Like, bro, what in the ignorance is this? There's no way you're doing interviews after you didn't. All right, bet, nigga, you're a clown. Clown sauce, nigga.
What? This is obviously ridiculous, and the judge would let him have it.
Mr. Govan, I don't have to tell you how serious these charges are. I know I don't even have to go back through that.
I'm a beanhead ass.
I also
Pinto beanhead ass.
Shouldn't have to remind you that you're out on a bond.
Frijoles head ass.
That, and the court has put you under some real serious
beans and toast head ass.
Real tight stipulations.
Yes, ma'am. Choco bean head ass.
At this point, the court feels like you're
malted ball head ass.
Playing fast and loose with the court and these stipulations. And I don't like that.
The dumb nigga from Spot Kids head ass.
From your attorney asking me to review your bond conditions. And before we could ever do that, I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out doing interviews. Whether you're talking about this case or not, you're doing interviews. And the court doesn't like the fact that you feel free enough to do interviews. Because what could be happening is that you could be in jail.
Well, coming out of placenta looking at.
And it's a whole lot easier to supervise you there.
So that's warning number one. Please stop doing interviews or we're going to take you to jail until your trial. So at this point, what do you guys think Hernandez does? A, lay low and try to stay out of trouble. Or B, do the complete opposite.
We have breaking news just in from DeSoto County. One of the suspects in the young Dolph case has been arrested in a separate case in South Haven. According to the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office, Hernandez Govan was booked Sunday, but we're told he's already bonded out. He's accused of stalking, making threats, driving with a suspended license, and having an improperly mounted tag. Govan is currently awaiting trial here in Shelby County on charges connected to the 2021 murder of rapper Young Dolph.
Big Jook couldn't have hired smarter criminals, so this was his best option. Between Hernandez doing all these shenanigans and then straight drop recording a music video in the same car he killed Young Dolph in, I mean, come on. Well, thankfully, while Hernandez is fighting his case, straight drop is overcooked in the courts.
Man sentenced to life in prison for killing young Dolph gets 35 more years tacked onto his sentence, meaning Justin Johnson could be in his 70s before he's even considered for parole.
I think today's result, sends a very useful message that this kind of violence won't be tolerated, and we will do what we need to do to make sure that people who are dangerous stay locked up so they can't get out onto the streets again.
But Johnson's attorney maintains his client is innocent. He has already filed a motion to get a new trial.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Well, after the arrests of Justin Johnson, Cornelius, Hernandez, and then the loss of CEO Teasy, there was only one person left on the streets. This would of course be Yo Gotti's older brother Big Jook, the one that police allege paid $100,000 for the hit on Dolph. However, to this point, they didn't have the hard evidence to arrest him, and they were waiting on some testimony that could possibly lead to his arrest. However, Big Jook is not like the dummies you've seen in this video. In fact, he moves very smart and always covers his tracks. And no disrespect, but Jook does not move like Dolph. You're not going to catch him just riding around Memphis alone. In fact, you're probably not going to catch him in Memphis at all, only for very special occasions. And that takes us to the start of 2024. Growing up, Gotti and Jook had an uncle that they looked up to named Eric Bovan. Eric was a legendary Memphis kingpin, known for being a cutthroat boss and stacking his paper. He's most known for being the head of the Bovan organization, which pretty much ran the streets of Memphis in the 1980s and 1990s. If you're unfamiliar, he was pretty much the big meech of the region. So because of this, Eric was seen as a legend in the city, for all the wrong reasons of course. Well, unfortunately, Eric would pass away on New Year's Eve at the age of 63. His passing would bring much sadness to Gotti and Jook and many in the city of Memphis. And as a result, the funeral would be very big, with hundreds of people flying into town, of course including Yo Gotti and Big Jook. January 13th, 2024. It's the day of Eric's funeral, and hundreds of people are in town, including Yo Gotti and Jook, who are rolling super deep with security. Well, strangely, in the morning of the funeral, Big Jook makes an Instagram post where he says, "Stay alert to stay alive."
They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Nigga. The irony in that statement. Knowing you used to sell drugs with this nigga Dolph, and you didn't proceed to put 100 bands on his head. You're chatting. Put snakes on a plate and eat great. Alright, snaky ass nigga. Alright, I guess they making snake shoe skins then. Wait, snake skin shoes then.
Watch your back at all times. Just keep that in mind. Well, the funeral goes by smoothly, and then after there's a gathering at a banquet on Winchester Road. So pretty much everyone heads from the church to the banquet, except for Yo Gotti, as he has something else to tend to. However, Jook decides not to go with Gotti and rather would go to the banquet. So at 3 p.m, he and his family hop in the Escalade and head down to Winchester Road. It's a joyous event and a joyous day all around. But little do they know, the rivals know about their exact whereabouts. Not knowing that he has rivals on their way to come find him, Jook hops out of the event at 4 p.m. and walks to his Escalade. This is where his mom is sitting in the back seat with the door open, and he goes up to her and whispers something in her ear. Immediately, she hops out of the car and walks back to the event. So now Jook is sitting in the car, and coincidentally at this exact moment, a white Ford Explorer pulls right alongside him. They roll their windows down, and without hesitation,
Get you back to that story we told you about off the top of the broadcast, a deadly shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live tonight from St. Francis Hospital. That's where the victims were taken. Lakia, what were you able to find out? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Daniel. Well, at least 5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti. Now, we were at that scene earlier tonight. Police say 2 men were shot outside Perion's restaurant and event center around 4:15. Now, that's on Winchester near Kirby. According to the Memphis Police Department, the victim was inside a vehicle at the time and was brought here to St. Francis Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. Now, I'm also learning there was a second person who was shot and was also taken to the hospital. It has not been confirmed who the second person is, but we do know it is a man, and he was airlifted to Regional 1 in critical condition.
This was the ultimate nail in the coffin for Yo Gotti and CMG. After numerous losses following Dolph's passing, this...
Nigga, you know what should have been the thing that made him say, yeah, but enough is enough? After they tried to execute Dolph the second time and it didn't work. Now we good on that. We were sending 100 bands. No? I guess. Wait till your big brother get cooked. I don't even know what he's about to say that they're about to do, but nigga, I pray to God it's not more nuttery. Alright, come on, bro.
This was the biggest one of them all. Not only was Jook his big brother, but he was also Gotti's idol. He taught him how to hustle, he protected him, and police say that he got rid of ops for him too. Either way, this was major in the city of Memphis, and you might think that, wow, this is the end of the beef. I mean, with Dolph gone, D-Money, Newski, Teasy, Tomanuel, and now Jook, who is even left? And when you think about it, all of this destruction and loss, for what reason? What was the reason for all of this? You can look at it however you want, but the fact of the matter is that nothing good came from the beef. All you're left with is a bunch of pain and kids without their fathers.
And niggas fighting court cases. So yeah, money are diminishing.
All in all, sadly, this is a regular occurrence in Memphis. This is going on every single day.
359 homicides. That is a record number for the city of Memphis, in fact. The headlines, of course, they're just hard to ignore. But those numbers make it easy to forget that every life lost in our community this year was a person, someone's child, someone's mother. Tonight, Fox 13 Investigates is striving to put a name on those numbers and give you a true picture of all that we have lost.
In a city instrumental in the civil rights movement, where we celebrated our differences and our culture, people who are Black make up less than 65% of our population, but 89% of this year's homicide victims. 7% were Hispanic and 4% were white.
Over 300 murders a year in such a small city. This cannot continue forever. So all I'm left to say is that we should pray for Memphis, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was about to say. That's definitely probably even the title of this video. Pray for Memphis. It's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of this is like, brother, y'all are not gonna get any money off of this beef shit. It's not gonna happen, bro. Ain't even if it is gonna happen. But you know how much you're gonna have to go through, and you're most likely gonna have to rap about this, and then when y'all rap about it, y'all don't rap smart, so y'all just gonna be like, yeah, I did this at this spot, and with the cameras in my face, and then we gonna see the next big Memphis rapper in jail or prison indictment, some dumbass headline. Like, this is just sad. It's a sad ass cycle. Rest in peace, Dolph. And I normally don't do this because a lot of people in this month sign up for this shit, but it's like, bro, it's all the people mentioned in this video. Rest in peace, y'all. Like, bro, motherfuckers just lost. That's the end of the video. Make sure I like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop videos on this channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Everything I see and I achieve it, bitch, we best. Everything I see and I achieve it, bitch, we best. Everything Everything I'm seeing, I achieved it, bitch, you best believe it. It has been my Nintendo Switch, shit, though, kick it with my kinfolk. Haters just be talking, so I really do not need their info. Yeah, their info, yeah.